to live chat. Remember, guard your privacy. Guard your privacy. Oh, damn. Phoebe's first in. Actually first, too. Remember to guard your privacy, y'all. How's your day so far? I don't know. I can't make a call yet. It's still happening. It's still unfolding. We'll see. Yep. Too early to call. Too close to call. There's apparently a code Y at the Women's Center I'm at for an appointment. Wonder what that means. They're not like sorting you by gametes, are they? Sun shining. You got cigs and a full head of hair. Life is good. That's a good point. All right, you make a point. Code Y. Code Y. Everything's off the top these days, you know. Do you support the troops? The troops? What are the troops even up to that they need my support? I forgot. Like, is there something going on where the troops need a support? You're a Navy SEAL sniper? Sure you are, bud. I'm the king of the fucking world. So strange we should meet here. Yeah, I pay my taxes. Not enough support? I'm a tax-paying citizen, okay? I'll be paying the taxes. I love the internet, dude. It's just like cosplay day. It's like infinite cosplay day. I'm a Navy SEAL sniper. I'm a Navy SEAL sniper. Is this cheese? Is that what you kids are like calling it? You know, cheese is like one of the kind of stonery descriptors that can be used to describe weed, right? Nope. What are your thoughts on the great P. Diddy? My thoughts are, if dumbasses like you keep asking dumbass questions, I'm going to turn on the dumbass button here pretty soon. That's my thoughts. YouTube's got a built-in dumb button, and I'm about to hit it. A weed strain that smelled like gasoline, or cat piss, or panther piss, cheetah piss. Those are all terms. I'm smoking on that cat piss. So did your mom. Wow, that was a great try, buddy. Swing and a miss, but at least you swung for the fences, all right? You left nothing. You left it all out there on the field. Good job. Just subbed. Where are you? I'm going to let you guess. Take it all in, right? Take it all in. Oh, wait, this might help. Okay, take it all in. Smoking on a giant 3-gram hog leg of the best weed in the world, looking like this. That's behind me. Where is Paul? Where in the world is Paul's ego? Paul, man, I want to be you. No, you don't. No, you won't. Singapore, you got me. You got me. And North Korea, yeah, both. You got me. Ooh. Everything off the top these days, you know. Colorado, California, one of the C's, right? You got to narrow down to a C. I can't even roll and pee. Everybody notice me. I can't even go to sleep. Rolling off a bean. Kern? No. Fresno County. You had it right the first time. Madera, California. Not far. Not far away. Yeah, Kodak is my favorite. Kodak is my favorite modern rapper. He started off not, but he has dethroned Playboy Cardi. Playboy Cardi is now old shit. Okay? And Kodak is on it. I can't not like Kodak. It's like they mixed him up in a lab, you know? They mixed him up in like a Broward County lab. I like Kodak a lot. Nature is the best place for a ciggy. Everywhere is the best place for a ciggy. Whatever happened to Fat Joe? I think he died, didn't he? No, he's alive. Fat Joe died. Big Pun died. Or Fat Joe is alive. Big Pun is the one that died. Yeah. Fat Joe's still around, I think. 50 is your favorite rapper? That's a take. Or the Irish group Kneecap. Nope. 50 era stuff is cringe. Yeah, I mean, the early 2000s, it was like party rap. right? Everybody was kind of like moving away from the gangsterism and towards the let's get lit and open up a bottle of Courvoisier and drink it, you know? It was a little... It was not the best look, okay? I will admit, it's not the best era of hip-hop. Yeah, everybody getting crunk, yeah. You take nappy naps or do you raw dog days? Depends on the day. I'll take a nappy nap here and there, but some days just gotta be, you gotta raw dog the day. You gotta take the whole day. No, 50 is not the only rapper who can talk about stuff he do. He may be one of them, but there are a number of rappers who definitely can talk about some street dirt that they have done, and some of them continue to do. Yes? Don't fall for that branding, okay? 50 is not the first actual gangster to gangster rap. Okay, not everybody's a studio gangster, okay? There are actual street people out here. Yeah, Melly's in prison for just drilling two of his best friends. Yeah. Ice-T, King Von is like legitimately a serial killer. Like he fits all the criteria of a serial killer. People are out doing dirt. Yeah, Snoop beat a murder rap. Snoop drilled a dude in the streets and beat the rap. People forget that. I'm watching the latest season of The Voice, right? I've never seen The Voice before, right? So this is my first season. I'm watching it because Snoop Dogg is on there. And I wanted to see how that works. And the way that Snoop has rebranded himself as Grandpa Snoop, I'm like, this is a fucking killer Crip who never, like, renounced his Cripperdom. He's a Crip. You know what I mean? It's so weird to me how, like, street dudes, because, like, Snoop's, like, real. It's nuts. When is the Tournament of Terror? It should be Saturday. 99% sure it's going to be Saturday. In fact, I know it's Saturday because TJ announced it last night. He announced the date. It's the 26th, which is Saturday. I can't even roll in peace.
Puzzling over a brain-dead TV.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about how weird it is to see Snoop because people forget. Like, he's rebranded himself as everybody's, like, gangsta grandpa, but he's a Crip. Snoop is a straight-out Crip, never renounced the colors.
Well, he was, like, pretty much wearing them when he did his Super Bowl performance.
Yeah. He's a Crip. He beat a murder case. Murder was the case that they gave me. As I look up at the sky, my mind starts tripping, a tear drops my eye, my body temperature falls. I'm shaking and they breaking, trying to save the dog, pumping on my chest and I'm screaming. I stop breathing, damn, I see demons. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me? I can't die, my boo-boo about to have my baby. He wrote a whole song about how the devil helped him beat a murder case. How he sold his soul to the devil so that he wouldn't go to jail forever for drilling somebody in the street.
You know what he did?
What?
His PR campaign started with the whole Martha Stewart thing.
Yeah.
That was his beginning of his image rehabilitation.
Yeah. I think you're right.
He decided, all right, I want to settle down, so I'm gonna start building this fucking image rehab. People can't believe Martha Stewart went to jail, so I'm gonna rehab her and rehab me at the same time.
Yeah. Remember when he plays the cripple in Training Day? Yeah, he was great in that. I mean, it's such a great choice to put him in that role. He plays the crack dealer that's in the wheelchair. Put me in the front seat with him. I bet I whoop his ass. I don't think it's all bullshit though. Yeah, I agree. I think Snoop is rich and he enjoys all the thing. Like he enjoys like being a granddad and like being people liking him and him getting to be nice. Like I don't think any of that's ungenuine. But you can't. He never renounced his gang. He never renounced the gang life. Right? He still rolls with that gang. He is still a card-carrying Crip. That's weird to me. You know what I mean? It's not weird. It's just what's weird is the way that society kind of whitewashes somebody because they're likable. You know? Like I'm not trying to shit talk Snoop. I love Snoop too, but I know what Snoop is. Snoop is not somebody's nice old grandpa. Snoop drills people or has drilled people.
Forgetting that this is choose your own reality worlds.
Yeah. It really is. Yeah. It really is. Choose your own adventure out there, guys. I just think it's funny. It's just interesting to me because like Snoop, it's one thing, like it'd be one thing if he was just like this kind of gangsta grandpa that everybody was like, oh, I love Snoop because he's old school. It feels like that on the surface of it, but he's fully flipped. He's like a little like old white ladies love him now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not just because of the Martha Stewart thing. He's just like completely undone his life and created this character of good old Snoop, and it just works. I'm not saying I have a problem with gang members or gang affiliation or any of that. Like, you do what you got to do. You are who you are. You did what you did. I'm just saying it's weird to me that somebody like Snoop, without really rehabilitating, like if somebody was, like if I was a Nazi, I'm not making a direct comparison, but if I was a Nazi and I went forward and I'm not doing Nazi shit anymore, but I never quite went like, yeah, that Nazi shit is not what you should do.
Like, I never took off my tattoos.
Right. That Nazi shit is not what you should do. I still chill with Nazis. I can still show up at a Nazi party and they're like, see Kyle. You know what I mean? Like that is weird to me because the Crips straight out kill people. Snoop killed a person and beat a murder rap on it by, according to him, selling his soul. I think he just, fucking lucked his way through it. Snoop drilled somebody, at least one somebody and got caught for it. You got to imagine that probably wasn't the first person he ever shot. I don't know. Maybe it was. Some people have bad luck like that. I don't remember the details of the case. I honestly don't. I remember it was in LA. It was out front of a party or a club. I would have to look into it. I'll look it up. Here, let's find out. Siri, what are the details of Snoop's murder case?
I found this on the web.
Okay, 1993, Calvin Brodus, a.k.a. Snoop Dogg, a.k.a. the D.O.G.G., was charged with first-degree murder after a member of a rival gang was shot and killed by Snoop's bodyguard, McKinley Lee, a.k.a. Malik. Okay, so he didn't shoot it. who fired the shot while in the then 21-year-old rapper's vehicle. So that's how he beat the case. It wasn't actually him that shot. No matter how high Snoop climbed, the gravity of the streets would always pull him back down, and that was cool. Snoop didn't mind, Jake says. It was where he came from. Ever since he was a youth, he rolled with the Rolling 20 Crips. The streets are his world. He was in no hurry to leave them behind, despite all of his success. It was this fact, along with a few others, that some would say explains how Snoop found himself at the center of a murder case. After having a heated run-in with rival gang members one August afternoon outside of his apartment, Snoop found himself back in their presence hours after the first encounter. The gangbangers from outside the apartment, out in the open in plain sight, sitting in the picnic table in Palms Park right by the tent, Jake details, setting the scene for the impending crime. Snoop didn't think. He accelerated, rolled up on them, and stopped his Jeep. The gangbangers looked up from the sweaty Mexican food they were eating. Sweaty Mexican food. This is just a quote from somebody that was there. One of them, Little Smooth, aka Philip Wolder Merriam, stood up. Snoop and Malik had looks on their faces that said the same thing. What the fuck? Phillips broke out. I'm not trying to sweat you all. I'm just trying to let you know where you at. Jake explains of the incident. Malik stood up in the topless Jeep, towering over the Cherokee's windshield and staring with menace at Philip. Philip grew agitated and shouted, "Oh, what? I'm a punk now?" Malik hit him back with a stern, "What?" Philip's friend Jason London, who was at the scene, later testified that when Malik pulled his pistol and took aim at Philip. What happened next would go on to become the basis of Snoop's 1995 trial. Philip then, according to Malik anyway, reached back for his .380 tucked into his waistband. Malik caught the move. Snoop ducked. Malik fired from the Jeep, and Philip fell to the ground before he was able to draw on Snoop and his crew.
Yeah, both of them got acquitted. The bodyguard and Snoop.
Snoop banged on the accelerator and got the hell out of there. He, Malik, and Sean went into hiding. Philip Wolder Merriam went into the afterlife, died on the scene, face down in the street. Snoop gave himself up a couple days later, but only after the Video Music Awards, of course. He didn't end up going to trial until 1995, and murder was indeed the case that they gave him. But a racially diverse jury could not convict him of the charge, and there was a great deal of debate around Snoop and Malik's claims of self-defense, specifically that Philip Wolder Merriam had a gun.
Well, here's the thing. His lawyer was Johnny Cochran.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's how you beat the kid. Well, that's the devil that he sold his soul to.
Yeah. Get Johnny Cochran.
Yep. If that wasn't enough to aid Snoop in beating his case, the LAPD's negligence sure did. It was also discovered that the LAPD had handled the case with incompetence, shocking, having inadvertently destroyed Philip's clothing, bullets, and a shell casing from the scene. When this was revealed, the jury could be seen in the courtroom visibly rolling their eyes and shaking their heads. Snoop and Malik were eventually acquitted and in no time back in the street. So there you go.
I mean, that's not the same as like rolling up on someone cold.
That's exactly what they did, though.
Yeah.
They saw rival gang members. Snoop gassed his Jeep and pulled right up on them. Mm-hmm. His bodyguard stood up, started talking shit. Bodyguard whips out a gun and kills somebody. That's exactly what they did. They rolled up on a rival gang members. They claim the other dude reached for his piece first. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a possibility that it was a
but it never should have happened in the first place. He shouldn't be rolling up on people, right? So, like, what happened in there was a result of gang lifestyle, right? He wouldn't have even been there, let alone had somebody with him that had a gun and shit if he wasn't involved in gangsterism. That kid is dead because of gang shit. Snoop went into hiding, did the VMAs, and then gave himself up. That sound like a dude that's like, whoa, shit got out of hand. I don't do this type of stuff. To you? Should Snoop be in prison? I don't know all of the material facts of the case. I wasn't on the jury.
I say, like, they have beyond a reasonable doubt. So they had doubts.
Those jury members found reasonable doubt, and they were helped to find that reasonable doubt by maybe the greatest lawyer that ever existed in the history of history. What are you gonna do? You know, should he be in prison according to the American justice system? No.
No, he can't be charged with that murder
No.
ever again.
Double jeopardy. He's done. He beat it. Right?
If he does something else, then maybe. But
people have gotten off easier for much worse. True. Yeah. Very fair. I can only assume the improvement of an elderly man. Sure, I'm not saying that Snoop is still out in the streets shooting people right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he enjoys a life that he built doing that shit. And he never repudiated it. He never walked away from it, publicly, privately, or otherwise. He's still a Crip. He's still a Rolling 20. I don't think Snoop has been out gangbanging for a couple of fucking decades, probably. That doesn't change the fact that he's a part of that organization, that he did do those things, and that he never repudiated those things. He never walked away from that life. I just find it funny that Snoop has fully rehabilitated his image to the point where middle-aged white women are in love with him now.
yeah, because it's different than Ice Cube. Because Ice Cube was always someone that was never deep in the game.
Right. If you look at it from a cultural standpoint, the women that love Snoop now were the people that were most terrified of him in 1995. He was the example of this urban gangster, deadly, shoot you right in the face for the slightest infraction kind of idea that white people had about gangster life. And he's complete, it's like such a complete 180, right? The very people that were like his biggest enemies, the Tipper Gores. Like Tipper Gore was the one that was like, violence in music needs to be controlled, it needs to be censored because it's creating all of this violence in youth. They hated Snoop, and now he's just like this wise old grandpa to them. They love him. Oh, he's stylish and cool, and you know, it's just weird to me that and it would be one thing if Snoop was like, man, I used to gangbang, but I don't do that shit no more. Fuck gangbangers and fuck the Crips and fuck all that. I'm away from that now. Like if he had made a public move away from that lifestyle and repudiated it, it would be one thing that he was able to be rehabilitated to the point where, like I said, middle-aged white women are watching him while they're fucking cleaning house. That would be one, but he just never did. He's still crippin'. That's just strange to me. Heard him claim, oh yeah, no. He will straight up throw up the signs and shit. He still reps Crip. Do young people get drawn into a gangbanging lifestyle automatically if they live in poor neighborhoods? No, it's not automatic, but it's a high likelihood, right? So you got to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's living in a generational ghetto, right? Your family are from the ghetto. They live in the ghetto. Your grandma lives in the ghetto. Your great-grandma died in the ghetto. Your family has, for 3 or 4 generations, lived in the same shit neighborhood in South Central LA, right? And your opportunities are exactly fuck and all, right? And you see dudes around you, you're a young man, likely without a strong father figure because of the just irrational amount of men that are locked up from these communities, right? And you see dudes living in that abject squalor and poverty, but they're rolling around in a candy paint 6'4" Impala with fucking, they're jumping. They're hitting the hydros. They're hitting the 3-wheel on the way through, and they're dripping. They're Aquafina dripping in the hood. And you're a little boy or a little girl, right? And you see everybody else that's not a rolling 20, looking all raggedy, impoverished, living in a shit apartment, scared for their lives because of the violence and the shit going on outside, right? And then you see the rolling 20s. Who do you want to hang with? If you're a kid, you got no strong father figure in your life, you got no prospects of ever escaping the shithole that you live in, who are you going with? Are you going with the people that go to church and the people that stay away from that and the people that don't rep crib, the people that like, are you going with them? Or are you going with the dudes that are in the candy paint 6'4"? Dripping.
Apparently, Suge Knight claimed that he helped cover it up for Snoop.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Suge is a good example of like what we're talking about here, because Suge, nobody likes Suge, but Suge was able to legitimize himself as a businessman through straight up gangsterism.
Yeah.
He literally just strong-armed his way into a business that was typically run by old white men for generations. And he just was like, fuck you, I'm taking it. And, you know, and that's another way that somebody that was real street was legitimized for a time. It's just that Suge never stopped. Suge never did the thing that Snoop did where he's like, yeah, you know, I could still be a gangster, but I can't be out there. I can't be the one out there pulling the...
Suge is still like, I fucking covered up a murder.
Yeah, not only that, Suge is still out there doing shit himself. I mean, the last time I remember he was gaffled up, I know he's in prison now, was for running somebody over with his SUV in an argument. Yeah, Suge is still running gangster shit from inside the joint. Suge said they're gonna kill Diddy. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I don't think that the state is going to allow them to get close enough to kill Diddy. But if they slip up, he will die. Diddy's in the same jail as Epstein was. I don't know if it's the same exact jail. But I do know that the jail that he's in, I think he's in a jail in Jersey. And it is fucked. Yeah. I'm not sitting here trying to condemn Snoop. That wasn't the point of me bringing this up, to condemn.
It was just a weird intersection
It is,
of things.
yeah, it's a strange thing for me to have grown up, because, like, you know, I was the target audience for The Chronic when it dropped. In 94, I was 14 years old, and I'd never heard anything like it. And it just blew up my whole fucking world, blew up everybody's world, right? And I remember these dudes, one of the things that made them bona fide was that a lot of these dudes, not all of them, but a lot of these dudes really were out there doing the shit they were rapping about, man. as a little suburban white kid, can you imagine how intoxicatingly cool that was? It's just like, holy fuck, bro. These dudes are out there with guns, gang banging in the streets, and then they go in the studio and cut a fucking album and make $20 million. You know what I mean? It's just like, that lifestyle was just so, it fit, right? So I've talked a little bit about generation, Gen X and early millennials. I'm right on the cusp, right? It's like we had this like anti-authority kind of mentality about us. Anti-authoritarianism was big, and you know, this kind of like what would you call that? Like just like an instant suspicion of any kind of power and authority, right? And so these guys slipped right into that, right? These are guys that are like, fuck your authority and fuck your power. I'm out here. I go and I take what I need, right? And so they slipped right in culturally, not just to people that were living in the same kind of environments that they were rapping about, but to little suburban white kids all over the fucking globe. Little, like, people all over resonated with that. I don't play by the rules. I just take what I need. I just take whatever I want and fuck you because I got mine kind of thing, right? And so the Chronic and that group of rappers that sprung up around 90s gangster rap were a direct result of that kind of inbuilt cultural tendency in my generation to be, and look, dude, for better or for worse, that shit has held on through my whole life. I am still instantly suspicious of anybody that's in authority. When I hear someone that's in authority say something authoritatively, my mind instantly, the first word that comes to my mind is bullshit, right? Even if it isn't. I give no quarter to people that are in power. I don't like the hierarchy, right? And so, you know, that's what allowed somebody that otherwise would have been terrifying to people, right, to culturally become this giant force. And then the fact that he was able to harness that and flip it into this dad energy is fucking wild to me. That's all I'm saying. Dr. Dre had that weirdo album cover in drag. He wasn't in drag. He was just dressed all glam like the 70s were, right? So, like, that's the idea. Dre was from Compton, but he was not a gangbanger. He was not affiliated, and he didn't go that route. He actually had a mother that was a very strong role model in his life. It kept him from running the streets that way. She supported him in his kind of like side stuff that he was, his music, right? She made sure that he had the stuff he needed to be into that so that he wasn't running the streets. Same thing for Ice Cube, right? Ice Cube was an academic guy. He was a smart guy, a poet, really good in school, not a street guy, not affiliated, right? Didn't ever rep a gang, didn't gangbang. Now, he played that role in NWA and then as Ice Cube in his own career, right? He took advantage of the geography and the lingo that he picked up on. He took advantage of the things that he saw with his eyes, right? It's real in that way. But when he talks about how he's going to go cock a 12 gauge and, you know, blow somebody's top off, he's not, right?
I think he's always had a little dad energy. So, like, slid,
Cube?
Yeah, he slid right into the fucking...
But Cube is more... Movies. Cube is less family accepted than Snoop even is.
That's because of how political
Exactly.
Because he got involved in the fucking Black Hebrew Israelites and stuff. Mm-hmm.
So he's actually somebody that is looked at with more suspicion and shit, even though he was never a street guy. And then the actual street guy, the dude that was murdering people in the streets, slinging drugs, doing all that shit, he's the one that everybody's like, oh, Snoop. Oh, Snoop. It's like, whoa. It's just weird how it works out that way, Cube is a household name because of his acting career. Well, he has an acting career because of his music career. So you could then say, mathematically reducing the complexity, he exists because of his music career. He never would have seen a movie if he hadn't have been a rapper.
He's not a horrid actor. He's
No.
done some good shit.
No, he's been in some good shit. I like Cube. I've never disliked Cube.
It's a little maybe too corny in some of his later shit for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it gets a little bit cornball, but whatever. I'm not hating. It's fun. Eazy-E was another guy that was about that life. He was from the streets. He did street shit. I don't know, if he was out there I don't know if he was a shooter, but I know he slang rock. I know he was a dealer. I know he was a gangster. I know he did that street dirt shit that he used to rap about. Like, he had credibility with that, right? In fact, it was Eazy-E, once NWA soured and they all kind of broke up and he left and the whole nine, right? Once all that happened, Eazy-E was the guy that really introduced the terminology to me. I don't know if he invented it, but the terminology is studio gangster, right? Eazy-E released an album that was basically just diss tracks on Dr. Dre and Snoop and his former crew. And in that, he made the reference to these guys as, quote, studio gangsters, meaning that they're about that life in the booth, but as soon as they step out of the booth, they're basically suburbanites, right? And he had credibility to make that call out, and he was, he was not wrong. Him saying that Dr. Dre wearing khakis and mob while he rods, little fag trying to sag, but he's fronting at the same time, right? That there was credibility to that accusation because he he was an OG that never did shit wrong, according to Eazy-E. I never met a OG who never did shit wrong.
Did you say Ice-T's the one that did the biggest 180?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ice-T that's a wild one too. Like a street dude, and now he plays a cop. Now he's most well known as a dude that plays a cop. That is kind of wild. Yeah. Don't we let that pass for actors? Well, I'm pointing out the cultural phenomenon. I'm not calling out studio gangsterism. I like that music. I just know there's a difference in my mind, right?
Like, your criticism of Snoop still doesn't mean you don't like Snoop a little bit, too.
Right. It's like, okay, I'll give you guys a modern example, because recently everybody in the world wanted to know, what do you think about this Drake-Kendrick Lamar beef, right? And from what I've listened to on both sides of it, there's not a lot of it, but there's they're both of them are acting all gangster against each other. Oh, I'm gonna shoot you. I got shooters on my team, and I'm gonna fucking blah blah blah, hit you with the beam, blah blah blah. Right? Neither one of these dudes is about that life, and so I can't really take it all that serious. Right? In fact, I can't take it seriously at all. Neither one of these dudes is street. Right? Like, Kendrick claims to be gang affiliated. Kendrick is not about that life. I would look Kendrick straight in the fucking face and tell him he's not about that life, and he wouldn't do shit about it. He's street adjacent. So is anybody that grew up in a hood. right? That don't mean, so is Ice Cube, street adjacent. Dr. Dre, street adjacent. Kendrick is not about that life. And do I even have to go into Drake? The grassy high Canadian boy? Yeah, right, bro. Yeah. He's about that life. Give me a fucking break. Is that jacket pink or salmon? I have no fucking clue, bro. I guess salmon is what I would call it. I have fucking no clue what color this is, bro. It's loud. The 6 is what he calls Toronto. Yeah, dude, the 6. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to like get down and dirty with it, Kendrick being street adjacent and coming from an actual hood, or at least living near an actual hood, versus, you know, Drake growing up in Toronto and being a rich actor kid. Yeah. You know, if you really wanted to get down into the nitty gritty, I guess Kendrick's got a little bit more street cred, but I can't take none of that shit seriously. You know what I mean? People slinging these kinds of accusations back and forth. And here's the thing. I don't mean to be like, take it overly seriously, but people die over that shit. Legitimately. People legitimately die over rap beef. I've watched it my whole life. Some of the brightest stars in hip hop of my childhood died in the street like dogs because of this shit. And so it's hard for me to get behind people that are rapping gunplay when it's a real fucking thing out there. People die behind the shit they say in these songs. And I cannot take it seriously when two studio gangsters are going at each other. I just can't do it. And it still happens too. The most recent one that I thought was just like so fucking sad, because I felt like he was right there, about to blow huge, right? Nipsey Hussle, just dead in the streets over street shit. So talented. Had such a fucking long career ahead of him. King Von is a fucking serial killer, bro. That's a whole different ball of wax. Did you hear about the moron who rapped about an actual murder and got convicted? It's happened a few times, but it is very, very hard for the cops to tie rapping about a murder directly to the murder.
It's free speech.
Right. So you might be talking about a number of dudes, right? YNW Melly made a rap song called Murder on My Mind, where he basically, like, you could look at it as a confession. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise, right? You have Bobby Shmurda, who just caught a body about a week ago. You know what I mean? Like, basically blew up the whole hood with a song. Just was naming names. I'm with this guy, I'm with that guy, I'm with this guy. We did a murder over there with this guy. We killed this guy. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, okay. Rap snitches telling all their business. You know, like, Bobby Shmurda's mom really should have given him some better advice, because in that song he talks about how you don't let any pussy cats in your doghouse, because that's what got his daddy locked up in the dog pound. Like, that's good advice, right? But she should have also said, quit rapping about all the dirt you do, you know? That could have been it. That would have been good. Hey, you're the right guy for this topic. I know, dude. I'm a legit hip-hop head. I know the shit. Oh, Bobby's gonna be, yeah, I mean, that he made a song about killing people that he actually took part in killing, went to prison for killing those people, and now he's out and rich as fuck. You know what I mean? Just caught a body about a week ago. Burp, 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 burp. What's your opinion on Eminem? I liked Eminem back when he was on drugs. It's true. I hate to say it, but Eminem was way better when he was off a bunch of different pills and crazy fucking ecstasy and acid and smoking all the time and shit. Yeah. Clean Eminem is still like crazy good rapper, but I just don't vibe with it. It doesn't have that meta-retarded kid named Greg with a wooden leg, snatched it off and beat him over the head with the peg energy. You know, I like that Eminem. I don't like orange 4-inch door hinge Eminem. Okay? I can't do it. I know. I saw that Eminem introduced Kamala in Detroit. And I was like, dude, 90s Eminem would shit on this Eminem. 90s Eminem would never be caught dead being thrown under the arm of some shithead politician. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I mean, that cuts my respect for Eminem. But I gotta be honest with you. I set aside Eminem. I give him mad respect just for the stuff that he made that I think was brilliant and transcendent. And I don't mean to connect it to his drug use, but it is. When he was living more of a fucking edgy lifestyle and when he was pushing the boundaries of his consciousness with chemicals and shit, he was making better music. And this is not a phenomenon that is new either. It's not new to Eminem. You know, you have an artist crazy good, then they clean up. All right. I like Nas, but I'm not the world's biggest Nas fan. Nas starts to sound, and like, look, I'm not hating, but Nas's particular type of rap starts to get it grates on me because he has what I like to call no hook rap, like where it's just like I like a hook to a song, right? And Nas songs, like listen to New York State of Mind, right? It's a great song, but there's no hook to it. It just goes on. It's just street poetry or whatever. Yeah, it's a storyteller's kind of rap. But I like a hook in a song. You know, I like verse, chorus, verse, and Nas is all verse or all chorus, depending on how you want to look at it, right? No, Illmatic is great. Nas is great. I don't impugn his reach and influence. I just don't hardly ever put on Nas. I think when we were driving, New York State of Mind came on, and I listened to like 3 minutes of it, and it's like a 7-minute song, and I'm like, I've heard it. Okay, skip. Isn't that New York State of Mind? Isn't that the loop, the flute loop? Still think Wayne best wordplay in the game. I like Lil Wayne, man. You can't You cannot deny that Lil Wayne was a transitional artist, right? Lil Wayne popped on the scene, and he's really the only guy that I think he should have wrote that song. What was that song? Woke up to neighbors looking like me. Woke up to neighbors talking like me. That's Playboy Carti. It really, Wayne should have wrote that song. No. A trendsetter is one thing. Wayne stepped into the rap game and changed it for going on 2 decades now. No. E-Train, you gotta fucking get with it. You might not like Wayne's style, but if you look at the rap game right now, Lil Wayne, everybody's doing his shit. So you can't deny the influence, even if you don't like the rap. I just got done telling you, I'm not the biggest Lil Wayne fan. I hardly ever put him on. But you can't deny that he changed. It was like, you know who gave birth to modern rap? Lil Wayne and Kanye West fucked and made a weird ass baby, and we're living in it. Kanye brought the 808s, Lil Wayne brought the fucking crazy style, and there it went. And now that's the trajectory that rap's been on for 20 years. You can't deny it. Yeah, I get you, E-Train. Like, he's not for everybody. Like I said, I don't ever throw on Wayne. Hardly ever. I mean, there's a few songs where he's on there and he'll come through. I like some of his music, just not enough for me to want to rock to it over and over. But yeah, his reach is undeniable. I mean, he's fucking crazy influential. Fashion wise, beat wise, flow wise, all of that, right? I like Run the Jewels. I love Killer Mike. Killer Mike is a great voice. I like his song Ronald Reagan. That an eternal banger. What? But yeah, right now for me, there's no denying it, bro. The king of the fucking rap game right now is Lil Kodak. Everybody get out of the way, because Lil Kodak is like, there's something about how Kodak does what everybody else is doing that sets it apart for me. I can't explain it, but I'm a simp for Lil Kodak. They don't want to see him winning. They want to see him in a penitentiary. I don't know what it is, bro. I can't look. It's Kodak or bust for me right now in the rap game. It's Kodak up at the top and then everybody else down trying. Kodak is a skibbity rapper. Be that as it may. Yeah, Lil Kodak. He calls himself Lil Kodak in his songs. He doesn't go by Lil Kodak. Rap is great and all that, but does it push the youth into a gang-banging lifestyle or not, Paul? No. It doesn't push the youth. It's like, that would be like saying the people that tell stories about what happened in the hood are causing more hood shit. And it's like, in the microcosm of rap music, rap beef people do get killed behind rap beef. But that is an extension of the street beef that they were already involved in, right? So Does it cause it? No. Does it accurately describe it? Yeah. Modern rap isn't even hard for the most part. It's guys cosplaying, acting tough. Might want to keep that under your hat, bro. A lot of these dudes, despite what they look like, have done hard time for doing shit. Kodak has been in and out of fucking jail. He's a little dude, but he doesn't fuck around. Like these dudes will, like a lot of them will do street shit. You should look up all the O Block people, fucking Dirk and King Von and that whole group of people that came out of O Block in Chicago. Those, like, so many of those people are dead behind street beef. Do you know Ice Spice? Like, personally? Yeah. Yeah, we chill. All the time.
Gave her the fart idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I was the one that helped her write. Yeah. You think you the shit. You more like a fart. She just shakes her ass to that. You think you the shit. You more like the fart. Oh, man, that had to be me. That had to be my influence on Ice Spice right there. You think you the shit. You more like the fart. Come on, man. Come on. Can we not? I'm not denying it. Isn't there? But there's tons of well-known rappers who talk about things they don't do. Yes, that's always been the case. We've been talking about it for like over an hour now. Yeah. Studio gangsters. Yeah. You think you the shit. You mow like the fart. I be going hard. I be driving cars. You think you the shit. You really the fart. Man, dude, bars on bars. You like Mac Miller? Yeah. I like Mac Miller retrospectively, but I was not a fan of Mac Miller when he was popular. I was real boomerish about hip hop from about, I'd say like 2005 till 2017, 2018-ish is when I woke up and stopped being a boomer about it. But I really did not, I missed out. I missed a lot of Mac Miller. I missed a lot of those early Lils that were influential, the Lil Peeps, and I kind of missed the early wave of that sound, right? That Donald Trump song is like, well, isn't that one of his most favorite or his most famous songs? Mac Miller is, I mean, going crazy when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Like it's a good song. Majority of rappers that start their name with Lil, I categorize them as short bus rappers. I think you're missing out on a lot of really great talent, man. I really do. I get what you're saying. There were a lot of fucking clowns that were just doing the Lil game, right? And a lot of industry plants too. Like, oh, this sound is hot right now. Let me find some kid, dye his hair blue, give him dreadlocks, put a fucking tattoo on his face, and call him, Lil Street Shit, and have him come out and do. Yeah, there was a lot of that. I give you that. All right. But if you're fucking closing your mind off to everybody that's got Lil in front of their name, you're missing out on a lot of really great artists right now, bro.
Isn't Lil Xan one of yours?
Well, I like Lil Xan's older shit, but he's not exactly somebody I would hold up as an example of a great Lil rapper. I just kind of vibe with some of his stuff. But like Lil Uzi Vert, love him. Lil Peep, his shit was great. Rest in peace to Peep. There's quite a few Lils that I wouldn't ignore. If you're trying to be like up to date Thoughts on Tom McDonald? Oh, yeah, the dude that's like grifting MAGA with rap. Yeah, bro. Hey, get your money, bro. There's my thoughts on it. Do I agree with Tom McDonald? No. But can I hate on a dude? Because here's what Tom McDonald did that I genuinely respect. And you have to. Tom McDonald, instead of doing what everybody does, blew up doing self-produced shit. That's not unique. He self-produced and he blew up off of it. Rather than sign with a label, Tom McDonald's just started his own shit. And now he's basically just like a one-man music factory. He owns his own label. He produces his own music. He does every step of it. It's just him and his girlfriend, or him and his wife. I don't know if he's married now. And I have mad respect for that. Mad fucking respect for that. Because that's wild that he was able to do that. And the amount of freedom, like, look, the fact that he uses that freedom to cash in on MAGA, dude, hate the player or hate the game, right? Which one?
Thing is, though, he's a filthy Canadian.
He is a Canucka-stanny piece of shit. But I mean, what are you going to do? You can't hate the hustle. You can't hate the hustle. I have mad respect for him as a self-produced artist and as a guy that says whatever the fuck he wants and kind of like thrives in that trigger culture kind of thing. Like, whatever. He made his money. I don't listen to the shit. I don't have much respect for it musically, but yeah. Dude, he made his fucking money, bro. I'm gonna go get my cord and plug my phone in.
Oh, yeah. It didn't land.
I bumped it. I bumped it in the night. He's torn. He's like,
yeah, you can go back in and have your brekkie. Mom's gonna get you your brekkie. Because it is brekkie time. You gotta wake up, lazy bones.
you all wake up, lazy bones. Charging cord. Retouch on. Turn that retouch off. Get it off. I don't want to be accused. I will not be accused of retouching. Is that gonna fucking... I hate this. I really got to get a fucking decent, like... Because they make these little, like, adjustable arms that you can put your phone in and move it around. I need that shit in the worst way, because this is just... My setup is fucking shameful. Shameful. Yeah. Here, turn on Yas Queen mode. Can you even notice? This Yas Queen mode is on. Is it doing anything? Like, I'm still wrinkly and crinkly, so it's not removing any wrinkles. I just think I'm immune to being Yas Queened. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. Now it's off. Ah, God fucking damn it. I can't tell if it's working or not. I really can't. Gandalf mode is permanently on and it overrides the Ask Queen mode. Damn. I didn't know. I didn't know it was like that though. I didn't know it stayed like that, you know? But now I know. That was a cool talk. I like talking about rap and stuff and hip hop. It really is my home base when it comes to music, so I like that. It's a way more complex and interesting genre than a lot of people who dismiss it give it credit for, even in the modern times, right? Paul, what's something that's cute to you? My wife, my dog, my cat, capybaras, most animals, most trees. Most people do things that are cute when they don't think you're looking. Everything's kind of cute. You know what I mean? If I'm being honest with you, everything's kind of cute. I love cuteness. I'm looking for cute. And I see it a lot. The little peepers that are back here, the little birds, they're cute, right? The honkers that fly over, they're cute as fuck. Cinema roll is cute. Paul, what would you do if you were faced with a polar bear in the wild and it was seconds from tearing you apart and all you had was a knife? I'd slit my throat. Yep. I'd cut both of my jugular veins and let myself bleed out. Cinna, 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 cinema roll, the cutest of them all, the sweetest of them all. Why? Why would you do that? Because a polar bear will start eating you while you're alive. So I would rather die from bleeding out really super quickly than being eaten alive. Yeah? Are you a white dude for Harris? Bro, couldn't be me. Could never be me. Please stop. Don't ever fucking point your finger at me like that, bro. Don't do it. Okay? Do you have rituals that you do, Paul, like coffee at the same time each morning? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, humans are creatures of habit and ritual for sure. I definitely have mine. Yeah, dude, that was disrespectful. That was a low blow, Poe. That was a low blow, Poe. Bum, bum, bum. Oof. Oh no, it's the IP2 guy back again. You have baby chicken or what? Huh? No, there's just lots of birdies. Paul, what do you think of people who mistreat animals? They should all be strung up. They should all be strung up in the street. Oh yeah, I've had chickens in my life before. I like chickens. But yeah, there's lots of birds where I live. So yeah, these are just wild songbirds, is what we would call them, I guess, huh? Finches, jays. There's a lot of scrub jays, so you got finches, jays, mourning doves, butterbutts. There's just a number of little birdies out, and yeah, bird song is what you're hearing there. Must have left an impression to get that kind of greeting. No, you're named IP2. It's IP2 that left the fucking impression, my guy. The yellow-breasted warbler. Yellow-breasted warbler. Green-crested cardinal. What are you, man? Are you a little dragonfly? Are we considering one another? Or a little yellow jacket? Is that what you are? You don't want me, bro. I'm not a flower. Do you go to Churuch? No, I don't go to Churuch. I don't go to church either. I don't give a fuck about the Churuch, bro. This is my church. Are most modern humans reliant on the current supply system? And if oil would stop flowing, oh yeah. You just want to take it to the doom. You're just dooming. I'm not dooming with you. I'm not coming to cold, bitter Iceland with you today. You're taking it to doom. Church is good. I was just joking. Yeah, no, I don't go to church. But yes, church, that's correct. Church, yes. Hear all the little peepers. I know, it's so cold and dark in Iceland, and it creates you dark-minded folk, okay? If you ever get close to a human and human behavior, there's definitely no logic. And she's a lesson. Boom, 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 boom. Bunch of Bjorks over there. That's all you are, is a bunch of fucking Bjorks. Huh. Human behavior. No Bjorns. I don't know Bjorn well enough. I think I've seen him on IP2, but I don't know him well enough to know the memes. He's just a foreign guy that yells and gets drunk. You own any Yeezys? No. Oh, I look like a dude that's got a bunch of expensive shit. No, sir. I own, you know what I bought, bro? A pair of Skechers slip-ons like your grandpa has. Okay, that's the latest pair of shoes that I got. Big old chunky, soft, memory foam Skechers slip-ons like your granddaddy wears. Okay? Now you tell me if I'm flexing. I walked right into the granddaddy store and put the motherfuckers on my feet, and I was like, you know what? Granddad may be on to something because these motherfuckers are comfortable. I'm not even playing with you guys. They are comfy. Dude, I'm going to reveal some shit to you guys that is going to make you fucking laugh, bro. Okay, I have a problem, right? Let me explain my problem, right? I have too much shit in my pockets. I got car keys. I got a wallet I got to fucking wrangle. I got a cell phone. I got, smokes. Whatever. Like, there's too much shit. Your boy bought a man purse. And if you guys are nice to me, I'll go grab it and I'll flex it for you. I'll show you the brand because your boy got a designer man bag, a clutch. Your boy got a purse. Gucci knapsack where I'm holding all the work at. It's not Gucci though. It's not Louis V. It's not Louis V. It's even better in my mind. Dude, I flexed hard. If you guys are nice about it, I'm gonna flex it. Ain't nobody guessed. Is it very expensive? Wildly expensive. Over the top. Should I flex it? Should I flex it though? Should I flex it though? No, it's a man purse. Should I flex it? Nobody's gonna guess it. Should I flex it? Ain't nobody said it one time. But it's the ultimate flex, bro. I'm gonna flex it. Fuck you guys, ball. I'm flexing it. Anyway. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to take a quick little break, you know what I mean? I just had to get up and stretch my legs, you know what I mean? I just had to get up and stretch my legs out a little bit, you know what I mean? I can't even remember what we were talking about. What were we talking about? I can't even remember what we were saying. We were saying something. We're talking about something. Yeah. Not one of you guessed. Not one of you guessed what I'm about to flex. Because it takes a real man to flex this brand, right? You ready? I don't think they're ready yet. I'm gonna let them wait. I'm gonna slow burn this one because they're not ready. I can't believe nobody guessed. Nobody up on game. What now? What now, bitches? What now, bitches? What now, bitches? You know what I paid for this bitch? You don't even want to know what I paid for this bitch. You have to take out a loan to get this bitch. You can't flex Tommy. You can't flex Tommy. You could put hella stuff in this. You could put hella stuff in this. Yeah, you have to take out a mortgage. You have to put this on layaway. 70? That's a little high, dog. More like 40. 40 bucks. 4 with 1 0. Man. Somebody wipe me down. Wipe me down. Excuse me. I think I pulled a muscle flexing so hard. Oh. Unbreakable strap. Ain't nobody running with this bitch. This is that like high quality nylon shit. It's the same shit your seatbelt's made out of. You wanna rip this off of me? Ain't nobody snatching this purse. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, it is actually really convenient to not have your pockets filled with 8 pounds of shit. Now I can just put my wallet, my glasses, case, my weed, my cigarettes, my car keys. All the shit I need to have on my person goes right in the man bag now. The Hilfiger bag. Super convenient. Yeah, fruit snacks, hand sanitizers. You could put it all in there. You got it right, ready to go, right? Tampon. Who knows? What brand was it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a Tommy. It's a Tommy. You can't flex a Tommy. This is a designer. How many special pockets? I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want, if you do run through my bag, you won't be able to find everything. There are so many unique and special hiding spots in this Tommy bag that I can't even tell you about all of them. I don't want you to know how to run through my pockets. Put all 3 ounces of nothing in there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a hater. Not shocking. Not shocking. Not shocking.
Dude, you had that whole store light up. Like, you made a good choice, bro.
Dude, the dudes in that Tommy Hilfiger outlet were legit stoked that I had done the right thing.
Yeah.
One of them was like, I've been carrying a purse for what did he say, like 6 years, 7 years now. And people will go like, what do you call that? And I say, it's my purse. And then the other guy was like, oh, you could put so many things in it. You could put everything in there. It really does hold a lot of stuff. And I was like, damn. So I made the right decision then? Oh, I think so. Yes. I was like, fuck. Yes. Yes.
Oh, they were so impressed that they didn't even try to sell you anything else.
I know. Because I knew what I wanted. That's what impressed them. They looked at me and they probably sized me up like, oh my God, this guy needs help. And then I went straight to the coolest thing in the place. I was like, I'm here for a purse. Louis knapsack where I'm holding all the work at. What you know about that? Purses are arbitrarily feminine. Agreed. Agreed. It's arbitrary that we've ascribed femininity to having a clutch or a bag or something to carry your shit in.
If anything, it's more gay to not have one, because then you gotta have your woman carrying all your shit.
Agreed. It's actually more gay if you don't suck dick, because it just shows that you're like hung up about it.
Yeah.
If you didn't care, you would just blow it, dude. That's how you show you're really straight. That's how I know that I've met a dude that's actually straight. If he's run through a couple dicks. How do you know otherwise? You see what I mean? All these straight dudes that have never sucked a dick. How do you know until you tried?
You give something heavy to your girl to hold in their purse.
Right.
It's like giving her your balls.
Exactly. And bro, I was right on the edge of just handing you my identity, my money, my nuts right out of the sack into your purse. But you know what? Tommy saved me. Exactly. How do you know you're not gay? How do you know? Till you try. Rather have a sling backpack. Yeah, they sold those there too. They had a whole array. Tommy Hilfiger, if you're into the man bag game, you could do worse. Because they had a whole array. All the way up to like what I would just basically call a backpack. But not with two, but with one strap. So like a throw backpack kind of thing where it just goes over one shoulder, you know? Or I guess across the body with one strap. All the way down, and this was the smallest one. And the dude called it a clutch, which I guess that would mean a small purse, which is what I needed. I don't need to have all the things that you carry in your utility basket.
Yeah, I gotta have, not a tote bag, but like a substantial.
You gotta have a purse, like a full purse, not a tote, right? Not a Coach bag, but a purse. Because you gotta have utilities. Women gotta travel with utilities. Men, we have our utilities, but it's less. We need a little bit of that, a little bit of this. And having your pockets filled with that and having to run through all those pockets to find things. Why? Now, when it comes time to get into the car, I don't go like, fuck, which pocket? Where did I put my keys? It's like, zip.
Or it's
boop,
like,
boop.
oh, I gotta double check everything.
Exactly. Zip. Boop, boop. And if I wanted to get real crazy with it, I could take my car key, that part, off of the keychain and put it on this.
Yeah.
And just dangle it on the outside of this. So that all I got to do is go, boop.
You don't even need to do that. You don't even need to have it outside.
Well, I know, but I mean, that's the one thing. I have to unzip it and grab in there for my car keys.
But I mean, our car doesn't need you to press the button.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if we walk up to it, it unlocks.
Well,
I have to press it to lock it, though.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
A lighter, pocket knife, wallet, and keys. Yep. A little Glock 30 tucked for the work, for the ops, of course. The Oppa Stoppa is what I call that. Keep that in the bag.
The advantage of yours is a backpack. You either gotta look like a dork and have it in front of you to protect your shit. It doesn't look dorky in the front.
A lot of people would argue that this looks dorky no matter what. There is
But it
a
doesn't
certain
make it
element.
significantly more dorky in the front, like a backpack.
True.
You wear a backpack in the front.
Yeah, you just, yeah.
It escalates.
Yeah, it does. It's extra dorky, yeah. Why does school shootings seem to be only an American thing, and why is it on the rise there? Because we have a free and open gun market, because there are 3 guns for every human being that lives here. That's why. Because we have unrestricted amounts of crazy guns that flow around this between people that are impossible to track. And we also have people who have these guns who shouldn't have them because they do not have the level of responsibility and care and conscientiousness that it takes to safely have the guns. So you put those 2 things together, 3 guns for every person. Most people are retarded. And that's how teenagers end up being able to just go into dad's room and grab his Glock and go to school and shoot kids with it. It doesn't happen in other places, not because you guys don't have angsty teenagers, but because you guys don't have easy access to your weapons.
Like, it'd be interesting to look into how many of those shootings was a gun not even, like, remotely secured.
So many of them. Like, and some of the biggest, too, like Littleton or Newtown or whatever. That was literally just mom had an AR-15. Kid knew where it was. It was just zipped up in a bag under her bed or something, right where he could get at it. No trigger guard, no anything that would stop him from using it. And there he goes, right? I've talked about this before, and I don't mean to be mean, but if you look at, like, Adam Lanza was the name of the kid that did that. He did the Newtown shooting. If you look at that kid, right, he looks like, you guys know the Muppet Beaker? The little Muppet. He looks like that came to life, right? And I did this bit years ago where I was like, I want you to imagine a world where Adam Lanza's mother kept her weapon secured. And Adam Lanza's got this plan. I want to go shoot up a bunch of kindergartners and school children and school teachers at my mom's school. So he's got this idea in his head, right? But, fuck, mom's got a trigger guard. Mom's got a trigger lock on her gun, or mom's got a gun safe. I can't get it. Well, you know what? I'm going to go buy one, right? I want you to imagine... Oh, choppy audio? I don't know what to tell you guys about that. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, audio is bad. Okay. Well, maybe now it's better. Maybe a little reboot of YouTube. Okay. I just had to drop my phone. Okay, it's better. Yeah, I just needed to reboot the app. Thanks for letting me know. But that's what I'm saying. He looks like Beaker, the Muppet. He is a person that they're... Imagine him trying to buy a weapon. You know what I mean? Assuming that there are... In fact, even take away the safeguards. Just put it in modern America and have him try to buy a weapon. There's no way he could have functionally done it. The only way that a kid like Adam Lanza gets to do something like Newtown if somebody provides him with the weapon, either tacitly or directly. There is no way that he makes it through the normal check and balance of having to be socially aware enough to walk into a gun store, get money out, buy it, go through the background check. None of that is happening with Adam Lanza. So the only way somebody like Adam Lanza gets their hands on something that allows Adam Lanza to kill a whole classroom of kids, right, is if he is facilitated with that weapon, either directly or indirectly. And in this case, it was indirectly facilitated by his mother, who kept an assault weapon unsecured in her house with an unstable teenager. Got it? So, to talk about it this way, I think that everybody should be able to have a gun so long as they don't have violent prior felonies, right? But I believe that anything that's done with that gun is on you. I think that's fair. Somebody in your household gets a hold of that gun and takes it to school and shoots somebody, you're going up for murder. Just the same as if you bought the weapon and handed it to the murderer. You facilitated a murder. You're going to jail. None of this, oh, I didn't know. None of that. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to jail. And I'm fine with it. The amount of responsibility should be commensurate with the giant, giant risk that a gun is. If you want to have a gun, cool. Be smart with it. Hell yeah, I had guns in my house growing up. My parents taught me how to shoot them too, very young. My dad started teaching me how to fire handguns and handle handguns and shit safely when I was like 7. Yep. Did I have access to those guns? No. Merca, yep. But if you think about it, though, it sounds a little weird, I understand. But if you think about it, it is smart to teach kids what guns are if you're going to have them around your house. Right? I knew when I was a kid, before I ever got to touch a gun, that you never point a gun at something you don't want to absolutely obliterate from existence. I learned never, trigger discipline, barrel discipline, right? All of that shit before I ever touched a gun, right? So I knew how to handle the weapon if I needed to. And I also knew I was never allowed to go near it unless Dad was present. Ever. Under any circumstances was I allowed to touch a weapon. But yeah, by the time I was like 10, 11, 12, I was shooting skeet. Yep. That's exactly that's a great point, Andrew. It's like, dumbass like Brett Keane gets a gun. He's flexing it, and he's got his finger through the trigger guard in his house filled with his family. Or motherfuckers want to mess me in situation is just like horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible tragedy waiting to happen. Mom could put it away. Ugh. How were they stored? Well, there were a number of weapons, and they were all stored differently. So, my dad had a secured gun bag for his pistol. So it was a pistol that had a zip-up Kevlar bag, right, that was locked. And that was kept up in the closet. There was a shotgun that was kept unloaded, zipped up in a similar bag, up against the wall of that same closet. The shells for that shotgun were kept in my dad's little utility safe in the garage. So my dad had a utility safe that was yay big, and that's where all the ammo for these weapons and clip, you know, like for the pistol was not, well, the pistol was loaded in the bag because that was the home defense weapon, right? So, but any ammo for the pistol, any ammo for any of the shotguns in the house or any of that, all of that was in the utility safe, right? So I knew where these weapons were. That was part of my parents introducing it. Do you know how many times in my childhood I went and got one of those guns without my father being there? I want you guys to guess. Having been introduced to it in the way that I've explained to you, how many times in my childhood do you think I went and got one of those guns without my dad present? 0 is the answer, yes. Not one time. Not one time. Not a single one. 0.0. Never happened. Never would happen. I was taught proper gun safety. Dude, I mean, it was just straight up. If you ever fuck around incorrectly with one of these guns, which means going and getting it when I don't know, touching it, you're fucked. Right? It was just known. You don't fuck around. I knew where it was in case I needed it. I knew how to fire it in case I needed to fire it. It was both. It was my parents' teaching and fear of transgressing those teachings. Now, I don't know, like, look, I could look back over my childhood and critique my parents for doing this, that, and the other thing. Corporal punishment was a thing, spanking. I used to get my ass beat, right? I am not saying that's the way you do kids, but that, coupled with a very, very strong and consistent set of expectations, kept me straight up in line most of my childhood. I did not transgress in big ways when I was a kid. I didn't want that. I didn't want my ass beat. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I didn't want to endanger people. Do you think Gen X were as hard on their kids as boomers were on them? No. No. And boomers were way, way, way more permissive with their children than their parents were. The greatest generation, you talk about fucking fascism at home, right? You're talking about the World War II generation who raised the boomers, right? Bro. It was like military. Dude, you go back in time, kids from that generation, the kids that were boomers, you saw how they talked to their dads. Yes, sir. No, sir. Who grew up calling their dad sir? I didn't. So the boomer generation, right, which also known as the hippies, a lot of people don't know that. The boomer generation kind of moved the way it did as a result of that brutal authoritarian upbringing. You did, but both parents were Marines, right? That used to be non-military family standard shit. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. When you're talking to your mother, answering questions to your mother or your father, or any adult, right? Kids nowadays, like, saying sir is almost an anachronism now. It just doesn't even happen anymore. Or ma'am. It just doesn't even happen. Thank goodness that's not a thing anymore, a bunch of fake respect. Well, it was more than that. It was more than just respect for authority in the home. It was respect for authority in the world as well. You venerated cops. You venerated firefighters. You venerated politicians, soldiers, government officials, the flag, right? All of this shit. It was like fucking Puritan as fuck. The church and the Bible. Oh yeah, all of that shit. Well, okay, so my parents, the sir and ma'am thing was instilled in me, but never towards them. It was instilled in me towards other adults that I did not know. Mr. and Mrs. is how you address them. You didn't call an adult that you didn't know by their first name, right? So they were Mr. whatever they're, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, right? They were not Joe and Jenny. That was the level of kind of respect that was left from that kind of upbringing in my generation. But it was never applied to your close friends, your family, all of that, right? They feared their parents rather than respecting them, I feel like. Well, yeah. And there was a balance of that in my childhood. It was fear and respect. I respected my dad as the authority figure in the house. I respected him. I looked up to him. I thought he was a very hard worker, and he's clearly a very smart and talented person. And so I respected him, and I feared him, because his anger was something to contend with as a child. That's a question I don't know that I can answer, Hugs. I gotta be honest. I'm different. I might have a different kind of perspective on it. Here's my thing, and a lot of people would disagree with me on this. Let's create a hypothetical scenario. I got a little fucking 3-year-old, right? And we're at the grocery store, and the 3-year-old's with me, and the 3-year-old starts throwing a tantrum, or does like grab something off the shelf and throws it on the ground. If I grab that 3-year-old by their hand and hold their hand up, and I swat them on their butt for that, to me, that's like no harm, no foul, right? There was a transgression. There was an immediate punishment. No harm, no foul, but it's not something you want to happen all the time as a kid. Now, there's a lot of people that would say you never strike your child. I respect that position. Certainly my position on this has a lot to do with how I was raised. I just got done telling you I was beaten with implements and stuff, right? So I definitely know there's a line, and that line was crossed in my childhood. But to me, more minor forms of this kind of corporal punishment, it doesn't hit the same for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like the same thing as, the harsher punishments I was subjected to. A fucking 2-year-old stern voice, swat on the butt. That to me, I don't think anybody fucking, I don't know. To me, that doesn't rise to the level of abuse, but according to a lot of people, it does. Right? Life is a shorty, shouldn't be so rough. I know. It's true. It's true. I get that. I do. I just don't think, dude. Belt. Yeah, I didn't get the chancla. I didn't get the chancla. I got the belt. Belt, the spanking spoon, which was, that one hurt too. It's like this big wooden paddle. Like, it wasn't a paddle, but it was a big wooden spoon that would get whacked across your ass, and the belt, but most of it was the belt. Yeah. And that rises to the level of child abuse in my mind. No kid should be whipped with a fucking belt, right? It leaves like literal bruises and contusions on your body and shit. It's fucked. Yeah, my mom would use, okay, so we had this living room and dining room was a big combined room in this house I grew up in, right? And mom's kitchen was kind of like partially closed off from it by this wall, but there was a window through that wall that she could lean through or see through into the living room area. And when we were kids and we started acting up, we would hear her say, "Hey," and we would see her hand come out of that little window. We couldn't even see her. We would see her hand, and she would just wave that spanking spoon. And we'd be like, yeah. So, you know, but I see a difference in that and the situation that I just talked about, right? Where a kid does something stupid in public, you want to really reinforce that's not how you act. You grab the kid, give him a swat on the butt, right? They learn they better fucking quit acting up. I accidentally hit the mute button. Man, professional streamer here, guys. Doing real well today. Really looking forward to this day. No voice. No voice. You still can't hear me? Oh, yeah. Now you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, good. We're back. I don't know how long we're going to be back, though. I'm starting to get sick of you guys' shit. You could choose to have any accent. What would you choose? I would really like to do a South African accent. I like that one. Scottish. Yeah, Afrikaans, yeah. How do we determine who's dumb anyway? Oh man, that's a deep ass question. It really is though, because like IQ is not the end all be all. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Kush is hitting too hard for me to get that deep. I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna hit you with the I don't know. Paul, what do you think of people who have kids for the sole purpose of using them as insurance for old age? I mean, I don't know. They suck. They shouldn't do that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that was the way that the human species had to survive. Like, kids were your insurance policy. But the fact that it's still that way kind of sucks. What's your favorite fart joke? Favorite fart joke. I don't know. I don't really like fart jokes. That's the thing. I'm a fart purist. It's the fart itself that is actually funny, right? It's not the joke about a fart. Your mama? I mean, there was a lot of really good yo mama jokes. That's a good question. I'm trying. I don't. The yo mama jokes. Like yo mama's so fat jokes were really good. I don't know what the best one was. I know one that's like completely like, dude, tell me this one doesn't age you. Yo mama's so fat she uses a VCR as a beeper. Bro, what? What the fuck is a VCR and what the fuck is a beeper? Right? A VCR is a beeper, bro. What the fuck, man? I'm old. Holy shit. Paul, do you think nowadays there aren't good comedians because they're afraid of the woke scolds? No. I think that there aren't good comedians because everybody has become woke scoldy. I think that comedians are afraid of the audience's response. It's not just one part of the audience. Dude, society's gotten pussified. This whole last generation of people that's all about feelings and... Look, dude, on one hand, I like that. It's okay to have feelings as a human being, and it's okay to be a little more sensitive. But on the other end, bro, everybody's a raw nerve these days. And it just makes me... It's just pussy behavior. I'm sorry. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. It's true. It's very true. I offend a lot of people with my opinions and stuff. And if I feared that, man, I'd be a little cuck. It would suck. Like, I'd rather get blowback for saying what I believe than, like, kowtow to the expectations. I'm part of that generation. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm such a snowflake. Everybody's a little delicate snowflake. And it's true. Everybody is. There's part of it that I like. I do like this idea that everybody's deserving of some measure of human respect and all that, and that feelings and emotions matter. I don't disagree with all of that completely, right? I just don't think that you can center that expectation on other people. I don't think that the world is ever going to give you that comfort. And I think that if you walk into the real world with that expectation, you're going to get dunked on real quick. But I don't think it's all bad, y'all. Like, I don't think that the sensitivity and all of that, I don't think it's necessarily inherently negative or bad. Being easily offended a sign of weakness and snobbery? No. I'm easily offended. Hell yeah, bro. It's a sign of being a human that cares about things. It is how you expect that offense to be met that kind of makes somebody into a snob, right? You could offend me all fucking day long. You guys do all the time. Dude, look at the offensive shit. People will say, fat, greasy, take a shower, and I'm fresh. I'm fresh out the shower. Take a shower, fat, stupid, ugly. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I took all that shit to heart, I'd be withered, old, haggard. Which I think is, that's not really that big of a diss. Haggard was dope. Haggard was a good guy. He loved animals. So I'm super easily offended, but I don't expect the world to conform to my offense. When I get offended, I don't think something has been created in the world that needs to be addressed. Okay, that's the difference. That's the difference, I think, between me and you. Or maybe not you, but me and folks that expect their offense to be addressed materially by other people. I'm not sorry that you're offended. Nobody's sorry that I'm offended. Isn't being a snob an indirect way to signal your class? I guess, yeah. I mean, it's pretty direct in my world. Yeah, I'm not sorry that you got offended. And in fact, I'll take it even a step further, and this really hurts people's feelings. I don't care that you got offended. I don't. Your offense did not create a problem that exists in my world that needs to be materially addressed or otherwise addressed by me. When I get offended, a team of people don't show up to soothe me. I just let it go. I let it roll. I go through it and I get over it. Right? So it's not about not being easily offended. I think everybody's easily offended. I think Howard Stern proved that one time. He had a brilliant bit back in the day where he was like, I could get everybody in here pissed in like 2 or 3 sentences. Right? He was like, because they were having this kind of a conversation. Oh, I'm not easily offended. It takes a lot to offend me. Oh, I'm, And he was like, I could get everybody in here angry at me with 1 sentence. And they were like, no, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. He was like, I don't want to do it, though, because it's going to hurt a lot of your feelings. But I could do it in 1 sentence. Anybody in here, right? And he goes, and nobody believed him. They were like, okay, whatever, knowing that it's coming and everything. Yeah, no, it's coming. I'm going to try and offend you, and I will get you pissed off and offended. No, you won't. No, you won't. So he did it, right? He goes to Baba Booey, his producer, first, and he goes, his name is Gary. He goes, all right. Gary's like, do me. He goes, Gary cheats on his wife, and everybody knows it. And he was like, that's fucking low. That's not true. That's not true. And he's like, see, you're pissed. Gotcha. And then Robin, his co-host, right? She's like, "You can't get me after all these years." And he said, I can't remember what he said to her, but it was perfect. He was like, "Robin is desperately afraid people are going to figure out she's not that smart." And she went, "Oh, fuck you." You know, he just did it to everybody. And it's just a matter of having the social acumen to know that offense is easily produced because it's common. It's as a common an element as silica sand. It's just everywhere. It is not a special, unique thing that gets created when you take offense to something that's been said. It is everywhere. And nobody cares about it but you. And when you realize that, it's okay to be offended. Everybody's offended. It's how you expect people to react to your offense at all that kind of puts you in a zone that I don't agree with. No brekkie.
I had to put it away before your brother ate it all.
I caught him nibbling something out on the lawn today, early this morning when he came out.
Why?
Maybe it's got his tummy upset. Probably a cat turd.
Hey, you must do this.
And now look at you. No brekkie.
I'll get a big old scoop of punky tonight, maybe. Slow your tummy down.
Wow. Ponky, ponky. Yep, and so it begins. It has to begin. It's never ending.
I don't think it's our yard this time.
It could be.
It's so short still. I feel like
It's because it's not growing as fast because the temperatures, it's starting to get cold. That is one good thing though. They come way less in the winter,
Yeah.
which is nice. He's
I already
revving
cut
it.
back a bunch of shit. It was leaving the leaves everywhere.
Yeah. He's revving it to piss you off. No.
These guys are like hired at most of these
Yeah,
places.
these dudes are they work for a company that comes around. They do multiple houses in this neighborhood, and there's multiples of these companies. So he's not doing anything to piss.
Yeah, our neighbors don't cut their own yards.
He's trying. No, nobody here cuts their own yard. He's trying to get his shit done as quickly as possible and get the fuck out of here and go to the next yard.
Can you imagine buying a lawnmower just for this?
No. What I would do if I had to take care of this myself is I'd get one of those mechanical push mowers.
Yeah.
Get that, and then you'd get a little rake and you rake up the clippings and bag them, and that's it.
Maybe a little weed whacker.
An electric one. Buzz, buzz, buzz. All right, I'm out of here. I can't listen to this fucking engine all morning.